So we've already, it's already been confirmed that Manchester United have signed Benjamin Šeško, and everything is all done. Basically, he's been revealed or unveiled to the fans, and now it's all down to the works now, down to everything that's related to him, fitting into this Manchester United squad. Which begs the question, as we always do, and as is with the culture of this channel, to basically create a player profile for Benjamin Šeško, to kind of like talk about his player profile, do a research, how he fits into Amorim's system and all of that. So we're going to just basically talk about it now, and we're doing a player profile for Benjamin Šeško. But so thank you so much for liking, sharing, and subscribing. If you haven't already, please do like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't have to miss anything as it relates to Manchester United. We're going to be diving deep into Benjamin Šeško's abilities, his characters, his stats, and everything in between. So welcome to United Talks podcast, and today, let's talk about one of the most talked about, transfers of the summer. I mean, Benjamin Šeško, a strategic move by Manchester United, and this isn't just another signing. Like it's a statement of intent, a calculated gamble, and a beacon of hope, for a club like Manchester United looking to reclaim its glory. Basically, United, it just dawned on us as United fans that we finished 15th and we couldn't score as many goals, and all of a sudden we've changed our entire back line, but our entire front line, right? The front three. We've added Šeško, Cunha, and we added Mbeumo. So now we're going to unpack his journey, his unique playing style, the intense saga, and crucially how he fits into Ruben Amorim's new system at Old Trafford. Now, I'd like you guys to just grab your headphones. If you're driving, just listen and enjoy, because we're diving deep into the world of Benjamin Šeško. Now, let's kick things off with Benjamin Šeško's remarkable accent, right? His football story began like in the Slovenian hometown of Rades. Even as an under 15s player in Krško, a second division club, Šeško had a second division club. Šeško's talent was practically undeniable. Let's picture this. 2017-18 season, he bags an astonishing 59 goals in 23 matches at under 15, right? In a second division club, right? This kind of prolificacy at such a young age doesn't go unnoticed, and it quickly put him on the radar of Europe's top scouts, leading to his move to RB Salzburg in 2019. Now, his initial step into senior football wasn't a fairy tale. I mean, he was immediately loaned to Salzburg's feeder club, FC Leipzig, right? In the Austrian second division. In his first season, he managed just 1 goal in 15 appearances. So you see that he started playing men's football and things kind of changed a little bit. But here is where his character shines through. He adapted, he learned, and in his second season with Leipzig, he exploded, netting an impressive 21 goals. This early resilience, this ability to overcome initial struggles and rapidly improve, and to rapidly improve is a huge indicator of his mental strength and adaptability. Now, this is a quality that will absolutely, impact his move to Manchester United, right? It's very vital for the Premier League, especially for a new player who's just coming to the Premier League. You need the ability to adapt to the league. His success at Leipzig earned him a return to RB Salzburg, where he continued his upward trajectory. Now, he was the key part of Salzburg winning the league and a cup double in 2021-2022 season, and another league title in 22-23 season for Salzburg, as he scored 21 goals in the Austrian Bundesliga, and he scored it over 2 seasons. He also gained crucial UEFA Champions League experience. Now, the Red Bull system is known for developing high-intensity modern footballers, and Šeško thrived in it. Plus, he became Slovenia's youngest ever player in June 2021, the day after his 18th birthday, and their youngest ever scorer just 4 months later. Now, then came the move to RB Leipzig in German Bundesliga in 2023. In his 2 seasons there, he scored a total of 39 goals in 87 games across all competitions, specifically in the Bundesliga. He netted 27 goals in 64 appearances and then in 23-24 season, he scored 14 goals in 31 Bundesliga matches. And in his 24-25 season, he contributed 13 goals and 5 assists in 33 Bundesliga matches. And he also bagged 5 goals in Slovenia's Euro 2024 qualification campaign. Now, this is a player who has literally just been scoring goals. 39 goals in 87 in German Bundesliga, 27 goals in 67 across across German Bundesliga, but then across all competitions, 39 in 87. So that's around almost 1.8 goals every 2 games, right? 1.8 goals every 2 games. That is absolutely amazing. Now, while some might describe the Bundesliga's performance as a solid but not yet extraordinary, his consistent goal contributions is in a more competitive league highlights his significant potential. I mean, his goal tallies show a clear progression: 21 goals in Austrian second division, then 16 goals in Austrian Bundesliga, and then 14 goals and 13 in German Bundesliga. This is a consistent return for a young striker adapting to increasingly high levels. Think about this: he's not scored less than 10 goals every season in the leagues where he's played. So that is a good return, right? We're not talking about all competitions, just in the league, right? So it is what it is. We have to just keep moving. Now let's talk about the transfer saga itself, because this wasn't just a spur of the moment thing or a spur of the moment decision. Because I released a video yesterday when I talked about Benjamin Šeško is now a Man United player and the hijack is complete. So let's talk about the transfer saga itself. The club has been tracking Šeško for at least 3 seasons, and especially that's Manchester United. The first serious attempt to sign him was 3 years ago, around the 22 season, but a 21 million pound deal wasn't already in place for him. Was already in place for him to move from Salzburg to Leipzig. So basically, Man United need to sign him, but then there was already a move in place from Salzburg to Leipzig. So it's kind of like Red Bull sold a player from their club to their club, right? And Šeško himself, in a 2023 interview, said that he felt it was better just to come here, that's to come to Leipzig at the time, preferring to continue his development within the familiar Red Bull system before a bigger leap, which is very good for a player, which is kind of like very mature to think about for a player like that, to wait it out and then eventually, and I would understand that, and that's pretty much why Leipzig would agree or allow him to move to Manchester United. And this long-term interest, particularly driven by United's recruitment director at the time, for this period, Christopher Vervel, who actually signed Šeško for both Leipzig, for both Salzburg in 2019 and Leipzig in 2023. So it's kind of like he signed the player, because he's been in the Red Bull system, right? And would eventually sign the player again, to Man United. So in 2019, he signed Šeško for Salzburg in 2019, and in 2023 he signs them for Leipzig. Now, so it's super interesting and super amazing to see. It speaks volume of Vevel's history with Šeško, which gives United an unparalleled insight into the player's development, character, and potential. And it's a strategic, well-informed pursuit, not a reactive one. It significantly mitigates the risk associated with his young age and lack of Premier League experience. This past summer, the battle for his signature was fierce, primarily between Manchester United and Newcastle. Newcastle heading back to the Champions League and offering a more, generous financial package. An initial offer of just under 70 million pounds, which is 80 million euros plus add-ons. Now they followed. It's kind of interesting how they bidded against themselves. So they bidded actually 70 million pounds, which is 80 million euros plus add-ons, and then they put in a second bid to try to sway Leipzig to accept. We were going through the player side, they were going through the Leipzig side. So if the player said yes, Man United would have agreed to put in a bid. So the player was just waiting for Man United to put in a bid. So it followed the second bid, reaching 82.5 million pounds, euros, which is 72 million pounds, and 2.5 million in add-ons, which presented a real challenge for United, who couldn't even offer European football this season. But here's the kicker: Šeško's personal preference was the decisive factor in this. He consistently expressed a strong desire to join Manchester United. In today's football, where money and immediate European competition often dictates moves, Šeško's choice to prioritize United despite the lack of Champions League football truly highlights his ambition and his belief in the special project with a special coach, Ruben Amorim. That United, now he focused basically on the project that Ruben Amorim must offer, that United is building actually. Now this aligns perfectly with Amorim's emphasis on signing players who want to be part of what United are trying to build and whose character is really important. Ultimately, Manchester United agreed a deal in principle with RB Leipzig for an initial fee of around 65 million pounds, which is 65 million pounds, which is around 66.3 million, depending on where you look at it, plus an 8.9 million in add-ons, or 10 million euros, and then 10 million euros in add-on. Ben Jacobs also said that 5 million of those add-ons are easily achievable. So the total deal is approximately 73.3 million pounds, which is around 75 million euros, plus 10 million in add-ons. Now, he signed a 5-year contract, securing his long-term future at Old Trafford. This deal takes United's summer spending to around 214 million pounds, following the signing of Matheus Cunha, which actually falls in last year's transfer budget. Diego Leon also signed last year, and then Bryan Mbeumo, right? So while United reportedly did not intend to pay quite as much and aimed to remain disciplined, the significant fee paid underscores their deep conviction in Šeško's potential to be a main goal source and help them back towards winning the Premier League. This is... I just saw the training pictures. He trained on Sunday, so I saw the training pictures of Benjamin Šeško, and he looks just perfect. He looks just perfect in this Man United team, in this Man United squad. But we'll see. Ruben Amorim has promised that once he comes in, he'll see that there's a unity in the squad. There's a bond, and the players are all together in this. So for me, this is what we need, right? So we have to talk about, and while this process was ongoing, while Man United were securing the deal for Benjamin Šeško, it happened to be that there was a report that Ruben Amorim had a 2-hour session with him, telling him about the plans, telling him about the desire, telling him about what the club is building and the rebuilding process and everything. He had a 2-hour session with Benjamin Šeško, and it was said to be very interesting, and Šeško was pleased. Now the question now is, what does Benjamin Šeško bring as a player? So let's break down his player profile. What does he bring as a player? Who is he exactly as a player? Before we talk about what he brings to United, who is he exactly? Standing at an imposing 6 feet 4 inches tall, which is 194 cm, and weighing around 77 kg, Šeško is an obvious aerial threat, but don't mistake him for a traditional static target man. He is a right-footed centre forward with a very powerful strike, particularly capable of generating powerful shots, even with little backlift. Backlift. Now, what truly makes him stand out? What really makes him stand out for his size is his surprising agility on the ball, and comfort in taking on opponents. Right? He can dribble past a defender to set up a shot or to link up with teammates, making him a dynamic threat. He's also noted for his composure and clinical finishing, especially in the penalty box. When he has where he has overperformed his expected goals by 4.15 or 4.51, and uses both feet and his head extraordinarily well. And that's pretty much the character, the profile of player that Manchester United would need, right, in this time of our rebuilding process and all of that. Now, this combination of physical presence and deceptive ability makes him a multi-dimensional forward, and that's kind of player that Ruben Amorim needs, a player who is very versatile. If you've known this with most of the Man United players that we're signing, these are players that can thrive in different positions, right? So, yeah. Like I said, what really makes him stand out is his size and his surprising ability, agility on the ball, and his comfort, in taking opponents on. He can also win headers, right? He can win headers, hold up play, but also run in behind, carry the ball and beat defenders, making him incredibly unpredictable. And the versatility is also key for Amorim's fluid attacking system, as I just said earlier. His primary position is centre forward. At Leipzig, he often played as one of a pair, combining effectively with creative midfielders like Xavi Simons and Dani Olmo. And you can see that the same thing with what we're going to have with Brian Mbumo and Mateusz Cunha, as well as Bruno Fernandes, Mason Mount, Ahmad, and Joshua Zirkzee. So this is like an amazing style of forward that we've signed. And he also showed that he can lead the line as a solo striker, demonstrating his ability. Now, his intelligent movement is a hallmark of his game. He uses double movements when tightly marked to create space, and frequently drops away from the backline to support midfielders or facilitate quick combinations. This ability to manipulate defenders and create space for others is invaluable in Amorim's system, which thrives on fluid rotations, third man runs, and off the ball timing. Now, which brings us to his off the ball timing. His off the ball timing is a particular strength, crucial for exploiting defensive gaps. His hold up play is excellent, as we spoke about, allowing him to receive with his back to goal and bring teammates into play, and then make powerful runs into the box. So it's like hold up play, excellent, wins the ball, passes it, and he's tall and he's a very, very commanding figure. He holds up play, wins the ball, passes the ball to the opponent, and then boom, he makes the run. Now, for the numbers, let's look at some of his key career stats. We've broken down some of them not too long ago, but we're going to, break them down again. Across all competitions for all clubs, Benjamin Šeško has played 224 matches, scoring 100 goals and providing approximately 12 assists in 12,686 minutes. Let's break down the goal contributions by club and competition. Now, for FC Liefering, Austrian Division 2 Liga, in his second season, 2020-2021 season, he scored 21 goals in 29 matches. For RB Leipzig, Austrian Bundesliga, in 2022-2023, he scored 16 goals in 30 Bundesliga matches, and he also added 5 goals in 5 OFB Cup matches in the 2021-2022 season. Now, RB Leipzig, where he played in the German Bundesliga in 23-24 season, he scored 14 goals in 31 matches, 31 Bundesliga matches, and in 24-25 season, he contributed 13 goals, 5 assists in 33 Bundesliga matches, and he also scored 4 goals in 8 UEFA Champions League, which is about 1 goal every 2 matches, UEFA Champions League matches, in 24-25 season. Now, let's look at some of the advanced metrics, comparing him to his peers in Europe's leagues over the last 365 days, with over 2,900 minutes played for all players, right, compared in this metric. Non-penalty goals, he has 0.43 per 90, placing him in the 69th percentile. This shows he's a prolific finisher. Successful take-ons, he has 1.33 per 90 per 90 minutes, putting him in the 89th percentile. For a striker of his size, this is an exceptional stat, highlighting his ball carrying ability, and that's one of the characteristics of players that Ruben Amorim would like is ball carrying players. Look at our midfield. If you have Bruno Fernandes carrying the ball, you have Brian Bumo, you have Mateusz Cunha, you have even Lenny Yoro now, and even Eddie Heaven at some point, Harry Maguire. They are ball carriers. Now with Šeško as a ball carrier, this is an interesting and an amazing feat and a good signing for Man United. Now, if we're talking about aerial duels won, he has 2.61 per 90 in 70, and he's in the 71st percentile, and this confirms his strength in the air. Now, touches in the attacking penalty area, he has 3.51 per 90, which means that he's in the 12th percentile. This suggests that he might operate more outside the immediate penalty box, or his previous teams didn't consistently get him into high volume, dangerous positions. This aligns with his non-penalty XG per 90 of 0.35, which is around the 50th percentile, and it implies that while his finishing is clinical, there is room to increase the volume and quality of chances he gets in the box. And that is where Mateusz Cunha, Brian Mbeumo, Mason Mount, Joshua Zirkzee, Bruno Fernandes, Amad Diallo, these are players that can potentially create chances for him. Same with Patrick Dogo, right? Even Diogo Dalot, depending on how quick he's able to cross. These are players that can create those chances, high quality chances, that for him to get the chance to score in the box. Beyond the stats, his character is frequently praised. Christopher Vivert, who also signed him twice before, called him among the game's top talents with enormous potential, highlighting his speed, jump, and aerial strength. Šeško is described as raw but trainable, hardworking, disciplined, level-headed, and he doesn't complain about the lack of service. His humility is evident in his past comments about observing Erling Haaland and actively trying to learn from him. Right, so he's such a humble guy. His agent emphasized that Šeško seeks a special project with a special coach, which clearly points to Amorim and United. Marco Rose, his former coach in Leipzig, commended him for playing very courageously and positioned himself excellently. All this suggests that he has the mental fortitude to thrive under pressure. So how does all these things we've talked about, the whole stats and everything, how does it fit into Amorim's system and Manchester United? Now, Amorim's tactical philosophy is all about structured dominance, flexible possession, high pressing, and fluid rotations. He wants to control the ball and space using a mix of potential and positional play and dynamic movement. His core principles are ball retention, aggressive pressing, and rotational patterns, to unbalance defenses. And that is what Amorim always speaks about. If you watch his press conferences where he talks about, we kick the ball too long, we move too fast, we need to hold the ball more, we need to retain the ball, and all of that. So he typically uses a flexible 3-4-3 formation, which most people seem to think that, he's evolving into a 4-4-2 or 4-2-3-1 and all of that. But he always sticks to his formation that shifts to a 3-2-5, which means 3 defenders, 2 midfielders, and 5 attackers, in possession with the ball, because it means that his wing backs will move forward. In build-up, is a back 3 with 2 central midfielders. Wing backs push high and wide, and inside forwards occupy half spaces. Amorim encourages patient build-up, but also vertical progression when central channels are open. The midfield is highly rotational, with players swapping positions to disrupt marking. He did that, and he said in the recent post-match when he talked about Mason Mount and he may being able to shift Mason Mount across, and then Mason Mount is still able to play in those systems. In the final third, it's a 3-2-5, which allows multiple players to arrive in the box, with wide players stretching the defensives and third man runs attacking inside the channels. Now, out of possession, Amorim's teams press aggressively, usually from a 5-2-3 or 3-4-3 shape. Right now, the front 3 press hard, the wing backs push high to trap opponents wide. Then his pressing is also both man-oriented and space-focused, aiming to block central progression. In transitions, he emphasizes immediate counter pressing, especially centrally, to win the ball back quickly. Now, once possession is regained, his teams look for vertical passes to forwards or wing backs in space. Amorim's system demands technically proficient, tactically intelligent, and physically capable players. Now, the striker's role in this system is very pivotal in the success of the team. The central forward is a focal point for linking play and attacking space. And we can think about this from the perspective of when Ruben Amorim played with Vitor Gyökeres. He had that same opportunity to be able to be the focal point for the team. Now, they need to be decisive with their positioning in and around the box, getting to the end of low cutbacks or aerial deliveries. When the team goes long, many balls will be aimed at the striker. And he talked about when we say there was no focal point against the Fiorentina because he didn't use Rasmus Højlund, right? Not just to hold up play, which is what he expects of his striker, but to also win aerial duels and set up second balls for midfielders. This means that the striker isn't just a goal scorer. They are central to the build-up, link up, and also creating opportunities for others, requiring mobility, intelligence, and technical cleanliness. Now, this is where Šeško is a perfect fit for Ruben Amorim. His 6'4" frame provides, this aerial threat and hold up play. Amorim needs for his system, but his agility and comfort on the ball means that he can contribute to the fluid formations, fluid rotations, and dynamic movements of Amorim's attack. His intelligent movement, like double movements to manipulate defenders and dropping deep to support midfielders, directly feeds into Amorim's system of space creation and quick combinations. His off-the-ball timing is a huge asset for breaking down defenses, and his work rate and ability to make ball recoveries in counter-pressing situations aligns perfectly with Amorim's aggressive pressing. Šeško's versatility, having played both on a lone as a lone striker and in a partnership at Leipzig, makes him adaptable to Amorim's flexible formations. And in situations where we play players like Joshua Zirkzee, it will be very key for us to see that partnership with Zirkzee behind Šeško as a 9.5 and Šeško as a striker. The arrival of Šeško alongside other raw attackers, other new attackers like Mateusz Cunha and Brian Mbeumo, is expected to significantly boost United's attack, especially with last season where United scored only 44 goals, a tally far too low. Now, this trio is a direct attempt to address the deficiency and the spread and to spread the goal scoring burden, making the attack more reliable and less reliant on one player. Šeško's hold-up play and link-up ability will be crucial for creating chances for attacking midfielders and wide players, allowing someone like Bruno Fernandes to operate more effectively. Now, to talk about this, we need to think about the fact that obviously Benjamin Šeško can thrive no matter who is behind him, and also Brian Mbeumo and Mateusz Cunha have worked with different strikers and they can create chances for. Look at the last game. Brian Mbeumo had 4 chances created. If we had a central forward who, like Benjamin Šeško, he'll finish at least 1 or 2, right? Now, what should Manchester United fans expect, which is the last aspect of this whole player profile? What should Manchester United fans expect from Benjamin Šeško? First, a balanced perspective is key. While comparisons to elite strikers like Erling Haaland are very flattering, they can also create undue pressure. Now, a successful debut season for Šeško in the Premier League would realistically see him achieve around 10 to 15 goals. Now, the Premier League is intense, physical and relentless, and players often need time to adjust to the speed and pressure. His raw but trainable quality suggests that he has the fundamental and strong learning curve. But consistency will likely develop over time. The confidence from recruitment director Christopher Vell, who knows Šeško personally and also believes in his personality, is a good sign that he has the mental fortitude for Old Trafford, right? Šeško is expected to become a main goal source, right, for United. His arrival along with Cunha and Mbeumo is designed to significantly improve United's attacking efficiency and address the previous goal scoring issue, right? Now, his presence should also be particularly effective in helping the team, break down stubborn low block defensives. If we have low blocks, it will be difficult for us to penetrate, so you can cross the ball in and all that, and he can head the ball down. So we have that opportunity to thrive with Šeško in that. Crucially, the goal scoring burden will also be shared among the new attacking trio. This is what one thing Manchester United fans should expect, which could also alleviate some of the immense pressure that might otherwise fall on Šeško alone. He's not expected to be just another Rasmus Højlund in terms of carrying the entire offensive load from day one. Fans can expect him to contribute not only with goals, but also through his hold-up play, intelligent movement, creating space for others, and his aerial prowess in both offensive and defensive set pieces. However, adaptation challenges are real. The Premier League's physicality and pace, are different from the Bundesliga or Austrian leagues. Now he will face less space and harder pressing. Amorim's system demands exceptional fitness and stamina, and players will be put to work in matches. Amorim himself has said that the team will suffer, but emphasizes bonding and positive spirit to overcome difficulties. So while some internal or initial issues are expected with, any new structure and personnel, the preseason offers valuable time to iron these things out, especially with the new signings in Cunha and Bumo. Now, the long-term vision under Ruben Amorim, coupled with the strategic recruitment of players whose characters align with the club's new ethos, suggests Šeško is well positioned to navigate these hurdles and ultimately thrive at Old Trafford. Now, the acquisition of Benjamin Šeško is a pivotal moment in Manchester United's strategic rebuilding under Ruben Amorim, right? His journey marked by rapid progression and consistent ability to adapt speaks volumes about his talent and his mental strength. The prolonged pursuit by United, guided by Christopher Vell's deep understanding, underscores a calculated long-term recruitment vision, and Šeško's personal choice of Old Trafford, despite more lucrative offers, highlights his ambition and belief in Ruben Amorim's special project. And this is very key because playing in the Premier League and playing Carabao Cup and FA Cup for him this season without any European commitments will give him ample time, or give Amorim ample time on training ground to embed his and if I were any other player who Man United is interested in, I would come at this time when we're rebuilding, so that he can be the central stay of the squad, right? Tactically, he's an ideal fit for Amorim's dynamic, high-intensity system, and his unique blend of physical presence, deceptive ability, intelligent movement, and strong link-up play makes him a multi-dimensional threat, capable of being a focal point in both build-up and attack. Alongside fellow new signings, Šeško is expected to significantly enhance United's attacking output, distributing the goal-scoring burden and providing, the clinical edge that the team has lacked for years. Now, at United, there is a chance that adaptation period in the Premier League has a unique demand and the demands of the Premier League is realistic. Šeško's proven resilience and professional character suggests that he possesses the qualities to succeed. His arrival signals a new era for Man United's attack, one built on strategic recruitment, a clear tactical identity, and promising potential of a young, ambitious striker poised to lead the line for years to come. That's all we're going to talk about with regards to Benjamin Šeško's player profile. But you can see that we have a player on our hands who can thrive in this setup and build a solid team for Manchester United. So let me know your thoughts and feelings about this Benjamin Šeško. Do you think this Benjamin Šeško deal? Do you think that Manchester United will succeed with him? And how many goals do you think he's going to score in this season? Me, I believe that if he gets 10 to 15 goals, I'm good. I'm really good if he gets 10 to 15 goals, because the goal burden is 10 to 15 goals from Benjamin Šeško. Say, for example, he scores 15 goals, Cunha scores 15 goals, Bumo scores 15 goals. That is 45 goals already. And that's more than what, the entire team scored last season. Let's not talk about Ahmad. Let's not talk about Bruno, Mount, Xerxes, if they can get 10 goals each, then you can tell that we know where we're going to be in Premier League. I know it's easier said than done, because for some people might want to come for me and say, oh, he said this, he said that, he said this, he said that. But the truth is, if they can get 10 to 15 goals each across board, the 5, 6, 7 attackers we have, then we are good. Even if Mount gets 7 goals, Bruno gets 8 goals, Ahmad gets 10 goals, Šeško gets 15, Cunha gets 15, Mbumo gets 15, we are good. Like, we literally will have like 80 goals, in the league season, and 80 goals gets you somewhere, right? So let's see how that goes. Let's build up. Let's prepare for the season. We're going to do another video about the season preview. I mean, the Liverpool lost the Community Shield to Crystal Palace and all of that, and it brought about questions. But we're going to do a season preview. We're going to analyze, what we expect of the season and realistic position for Manchester United. So let me know what your feelings in the comment section, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much for liking, sharing, and subscribing. If you haven't already, please do like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't have to miss anything as it relates to Manchester United. I'll see you on the next one. Take care, goodbye, and God bless.